Hello everyone and welcome to the Seals Play Football podcast episode 2 with me, Jake Palmer, Jack Latham and Chester Women's manager, Calvin Williams. This is going to be the weekend roundup show where we discuss the game just gone by and have a look forward to the game coming up this weekend. This weekend gone by, Chester faced Atherton in the Cup, which was a very, very tough game given both sides' status in their relative leagues. Chester were 1-0 down despite dominating the first half, but came back to equalise late on and then win the game in extra time, progressing to the next round of the Cup. First up, we're going to hear from Chester manager Calvin Williams and his thoughts on his team's performance and the result.
I think if you look at the performance today, it was against a side that had a really good game plan, a side that have tried to isolate our free kicks, our corners, something that we tried to work on in the week, and we were not good at them for 89 minutes. And then obviously when we eventually did get one right, well, back-to-back ones, we looked dangerous. But performance-wise, we looked all right. We looked like we controlled the game. I think we stopped them after the goal to stop their game plan, but obviously they cause a threat because we have to get the game plan sort of changed a little bit. But the players were excellent today. And to get through to the quarterfinals, I might be wrong, I might be right. But I think that's the first time in the club's history that we've ever made the quarterfinals of this cup. So really pleased for the players and really pleased for the spectators today.
Looking ahead to this weekend's fixture, Chester will play at home at the Diva Stadium against Liverpool Feds Reserve Women, who sit bottom of the table with just a singular point. Chester go into this game hoping to hit double figures, winning their 10th game in a row.
Yeah, it's great to be 9 wins on the bounce. Again, I'm not sure if it's a club record or not, but for this group of players, I think they've had that belief, and they identify themselves that they can go and do this and enjoy what we can achieve. It's easy to get caught up in the wins and be too high and everything else like that, but we have to realise that there's a possibility that this might stop and we can't get too low. That nearly happened today against a side that are really good. But the reason for it, I think the players just have that belief about themselves and have that hunger, and they want to prove people wrong, because a lot of people doubt this group of players. They doubt the coaching staff, but the players have been excellent, and they've been the reason why we've won these 9 games on the bounce. Nothing to do with the coaching staff, nothing to do with anything like that. They turn up to training twice a week. They apply themselves. They work hard outside of training, and it's been really good at the moment, but we've just got to realise that this can end at some point, and we have to make sure that we don't get too high and not get too low if it does end.
This match will give Chester the opportunity to close the gap at the top of the table with Nantwich to just 2 points. Chester's remarkable turnaround in form has put them right back in a title race, especially considering the tough start to the season they had, winning 1 out of their opening 5 games. Chester's most recent meeting with Liverpool Fed Reserve Women came just 2 weeks ago. Chester were resounding 8-0 winners and will be looking to repeat this in the upcoming game. Despite this, Chester will take nothing for granted in their pursuit of the title and hopefully further that winning run and really close the gap on Nantwich. I'm now going to hand you over to Jack Latham so you can hear his thoughts on Chester's performance at the weekend and the game coming up.
Yeah, I thought yesterday was a great result for Chester in the second round of the League Cup against a well-drilled team in Atherton who came to win, and they play like that, has to be said. I know Chester dominated for the large majority of the game and created a host of chances and probably should have had a few more goals, but Atherton took the lead, a really nice finish over the keeper, and they tried to hold on to that. They defended well, but Chester eventually broke them down in the last minute. A lovely header from Lola Smith from a corner, has to be said. And I think Calvin will be really impressed with the perseverance his team showed. To get the winner in extra time, a penalty from Sophia O'Neill just before the game was going to go to penalties. It's really impressive, and it carries on the winning run now. And now a trip to Crewe Alexandra waits in the quarterfinals, which will be a really tough task, and one that Calvin and his players will be really, looking forward to, I should say. But yeah, it's a really great opportunity to get through to the semi-finals of the cup competition. And I know that's something Calvin and his players are now focusing on, as well as the league. And drawing back to the league now, it's a game against Liverpool Feds next weekend. A team that Chester beat 8-0 away, but you can't take these things for granted in this league. It could be a whole new team. They could have a different setup or anything. So Calvin will be telling his players to just stick to the basics, stick to his principles, and play like they normally do. Don't take anything for granted before the game, and hopefully another victory as they hunt down Nantwich. So yeah, in both competitions now, the League and the League Cup, could have a couple of trophies, but even a trip to the semi-final I think will be good for Chester. I think Calvin will be happy with that against some top sides. And who knows, Nantwich will drop some points and Chester will be there to take advantage of that, hopefully. So bring on next week.
I think it's been crucial. It's been very crucial to the form that we are in the business end of the season. But, it's been about us making sure that we can turn that 1 win in 5 at the beginning of the season into something and create a bit of a run, which I think which clearly we have done. But we've just got to push Nantwich all the way and make this season a bit more entertaining, because like I've said previously, a team's ran away with it at this point of the season. Okay, they might have mathematically not always won it by now, but they're always like 12 points ahead or something like that. We're 5 points behind Nantwich. A game in hand puts us 2, but we can't get caught up and go, well, we're 2 points behind them, because we've got to win our games in hand. We've got to win games, which we are doing at the moment. And, it's just about us creating a bit of a run, enjoying our football and play with no pressure on us as a group, and looking to push Nantwich all the way now, because, they're a good side. They're doing what they do best, and the way they set up is excellent. And credit to Dan and his coaching staff for what they've done so far, and I'm sure they do very well. If they win this league, they'll do very well in the league above. But we've just got, that's the league focus. The cup focus is about, can we get to a final? That's obviously a target. We can't get too far ahead because now we're in a quarterfinals of the cup. And we've got to realise there's some big teams in there. Like I've looked briefly now, there's Fylde beat Runcorn, Accrington won today. There's some big teams in it, and we've just got to take it game by game. And whoever we get in that next round, I just hope that we get a home draw, we get another big crowd, and get a big attendance that gets behind the Seals, because that's what the players need. They need the recognition of what they've done so far in this season, and it's a credit to the group of players. They're a young group and they're just enjoying their football.
Within this Chester 10-game winning run, I think it's fair to say the most recent cup game against Atherton was the toughest. The resilience and determination showed by Chester, considering they were 1-0 down, creating chance after chance, and referee making some poor decisions causing increased frustration. Chester showed brilliant character and heart to get themselves back in that cup tie and advance to the next round. Let's see if they can carry on this winning run at the weekend.